Now this video is coming directly to you from an ex-sugar addict who also happens to be a doctor who knows scientifically how this works and has helped thousands of people get rid of that addiction themselves. And I'm here to present to you 8 things that actually work to get rid of that addiction once and for all. Let's start with number 1. We have to learn that anything we're addicted to sugar, okay. But we are addicted to some candy that we always eat. We're addicted to ice cream. There's a specific thing that we always resort to when we need something sweet. What we should know is that everything these days has a healthy alternative. That's usually something high in healthy fats and low in sugar. Everything you can think about. It's biscuits, chocolate, donuts, tiramisu, like anything has a healthy alternative. Some basic tips: instead of using sugar, we use sugar-free sweeteners like xylitol, like stevia, like erythritol. There are so many, and each person prefer one over the other. Do your research and figure out which one works for you. The result is something healthy, satiate us for a lot longer than sugar, that get digested very easily and very quickly and leave us with that hunger all over again. Number 2 is to be aware of the sacrifice that needs to be made. And it's either time or money. That new alternative, it's definitely more expensive than its counterpart that is filled with sugar. Instead of buying something cheap, you can prepare something with the same price, but you have to sacrifice time to prepare something in the kitchen that will take you longer. And if you're a housewife and your family won't go on with you on this diet, then you have to prepare something for them and something for you. Number 3 is making peace with the fact that there isn't something cheap, delicious, and healthy. Pick 2 of these 3 and you have a realistic result. But the good news here is that expensive items that you can buy, like I said, will make you feel satiated for longer, whereas you will overeat the cheap one, which can make you, at the end of the day, spend the same, if not more, on the cheap alternative. Number 4, and this is like the ending of that part 1 that we're talking about, like the healthy alternative that can help us in that transition phase. And it's that this is a transition phase. We should not be looking at it and we should not be thinking of it as our new menu. It can't work like that. When we want to have a cheat day, we don't have to have a cheat day because there are healthy alternatives. It's about the idea. It's about like canceling the idea of bread. We can't expect to have bread at every meal for the rest of our lives. So the pattern and the habit is the thing that we should be focusing on. Those healthy, delicious alternatives are just the cherry on the cake. Let's move on to the second part and start with the importance of sleep and its direct correlation with sugar and with fat gain or fat plateau. More often than not, when you get sleep deprived, you will be more hungry throughout the day. You will not only be hungry, you will reach out for sugar. You will want more sugar. And imagine you wanting to get rid of the addiction and you get little to no sleep and you just want sugar all day long. Even more, you have to stack the deck in your favor. And if you're not getting enough sleep, you're doing the exact opposite. Now, number 6, we're gonna eat more fat and more protein. This is actually very important because we have to take a step back and look at the entire picture. We removed the high glycemic index carbohydrates and we removed sugar, and there are only 3 macronutrients. It's carbohydrates, protein, and fat. So we're gonna focus on protein and fat. They make us feel satiated for longer and they help us transition our fuel from glucose to being fat adapted and being able to use fat in our bodies as ketones that can get extracted from fat cells. But the reason I did not say fiber is that because I don't want you to count the grams of vegetables that you're eating. You might think it's best to cut down vegetables because if you're eating like 10 grams of carbs or 20 or 30 or whatever it is, then you don't want to spend it on something boring like vegetables. You're allowed to eat as many as you want, especially at the beginning of those healthy vegetables, because you're actually doing yourself a favor and you shouldn't scare yourself away from it. Number 7 is one of my favorites, which is Bulletproof Coffee. Please don't be the someone who makes my mistake. I was disgusted of the idea of bulletproof coffee at first. So if you are now, if you're coming from that sugary world, I really encourage you and invite you to our new heaven that has bulletproof coffee for an amazing drink. In short, bulletproof coffee is coffee, healthy fats, and some sweetener. Healthy fat can be butter, can be MCT oil, can be coconut oil, can be ghee, can be any type of fat that you prefer that works with something sweet, like you can't put olive oil, for example. This is going to give us the energy, especially if we put MCT oil, which has some similar effects to sugar with that quick boost of energy. And if we add coconut oil that has MCT oil and other types of fats that are slow digesting, then we get that quick boost and that sustainable energy that lasts hours, unlike sugar that get quickly digested and then we're hungry all over again. Number 8 is a big one. If glucose and sugar is all that we think about, then going cold turkey in the other way sounds like a really good idea, doesn't it? There isn't anything that I talked about today that come close to the effects of this tip, which is to try the keto diet. When sugar is not needed anymore in the body, then our body won't ask for it anymore. Thus, the addiction is over. It's like magic. If our body doesn't use it anymore, then it won't ask for it. It's really something you have to try to believe, but it's one of the best things and easiest ways to get rid of that sugar addiction. But it's crucially important to start on the right foot. That's why I've created a video that encompasses everything you need to know about keto when you're first starting out, so that you know how to start on the right foot and how to go on the diet to take you wherever you want to go. It's a very in-depth video. Take the time to watch it and you won't regret it. I'm gonna link to it up here. But this video, I guess, has been helpful. So if it was, please give it a like down below. It actually makes a difference. It makes this video spread to other people who need to hear this information, who need to stop their sugar addiction. And while you're there, subscribe if you're not already, and hit the notification bell to get notified when I post all the future videos. And I'm gonna see you in that one.